Hi and welcome again to today's edition of BounceBack. Hopefully you're all managing to stay safe and stay well as we continue in this very difficult situation. But we do have to stay positive. We do have to know this is going to come to an end, and we have to be ready to bounce back as soon as that time is right. Today we're going to have a look at coaching philosophy and developing your own philosophy. So what actually is a coaching philosophy? Well, the definition is to set of values, governing principles and beliefs which basically determine what you do and how you behave within your coaching role. Basically it means, why do you coach? What do you believe in? What is the way you think tennis should be taught, and how you are going to manage your coaching operation. And why do you actually need one then? Well, it's vital because it has a major impact on your methodology. What are you going to teach, in what order, how are you going to teach it, what styles of teaching are you going to use, what principles and beliefs do you have going through the different phases. Are you always going to teach two-handed backhands? Are you going to teach the serve with a continental grip from the beginning? These things come together in your coaching life and build your philosophy in the first place. And from that, you can then make much better judgments on your decisions as a coach and also for your players. And it gives you that consistent base. There is nothing worse for a player than inconsistency from the coach. So having a very clear philosophy also gives you that real strong fundamental base from which you operate from. And then all the players will know what to expect from you, and then they'll respond better as well. So what do we need to take into consideration? Well, in the first place, what is most important to you? So in your coaching, basically what is not negotiable? So these things are cast in stone. I don't really want to vary from these. This is my base, my core fundamentals. And I'm just not going to give up on those things. And also, what would you operate with? So what are these values, and how will they stay with you? How are you going to make sure you stick to these principles? And look at also, how does it impact on your coaching? How does it affect maybe your style of teaching, maybe the way you deal with people, your communication skills? And these kind of things will all come together under this very broad banner of philosophy. And look at the different ways other people coach. Take into consideration the things that you like from other coaches, things that maybe you don't like from other coaches. We're not saying they're wrong, they just don't suit you. I'm sure if you go back to when you're at school, you had what you believed were good teachers and what you believed weren't so good. And you'd have your own reasons for that. And there may be other people that had completely the opposite opinion. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's your opinion. You're going to value what you think's right and what you think isn't the way you want to operate. And this becomes your philosophy. It's absolutely critical that you'd start to develop a philosophy if you don't have one. And even if you think you've got one, maybe commit it to paper so you really have that nailed down. The second thing is, learn from your own experiences. Over time and over years, you will evolve as a person, as an individual, and obviously as a coach. So how are you going to learn from those things? Making mistakes isn't a bad thing. One of the best coaches I ever had the joy to work with once said to me, the reason I'm so successful is because I'm such a failure. And at the time I'm like, what does that mean? And then when he explained it, basically he said, I keep trying new things, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But when you stop trying, you don't make any mistakes, but you stop growing. You stop becoming a better coach. So don't ever be afraid to try something new at the fear of it not working. The fear should be not trying. So look at all these different things, go through the slide, look at how you can actually develop your ideas and learn from things that you've done in the past and learn from others. Again, look at coaches that you would respect and you'd look up to and you'd like to copy some of what they do, and also look at coaches where maybe you don't like some of the things they do. Nothing wrong with that. Again, not saying they're wrong, just not the same. And what's your behavioral style? We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and if you go way back to the very beginning of this series, the first 2 or 3 episodes, we looked at what your strengths and weaknesses were, what was your skill set, and understanding those and putting together your development plan. And you need to understand what your style of coaching is. And tomorrow we're actually going to look at the different styles of coaching, and not how are you one or the other, but how you need to embrace and be able to use all of the different styles to be a super successful and effective coach. So look at all the different things and how you behave, and making sure that you keep the player at the center of your program. The coaching is all about the player, and making sure you can adapt and adopt different things, because we don't have one way of teaching. You must be flexible in the way you teach, maintaining your philosophies, maintaining those beliefs which you think are, as we said at the beginning, not negotiable. So how do you discover your coaching philosophy? Again, think about how do you want to be perceived by the people you're teaching. So what do you think the players would like to see? What image do you want to present across to your player? And actually consider that, and maybe even get feedback from some of the people that you're working with that you can trust, and ask them what impression they're getting from you at the moment, and see if that matches up with what you actually want it to be. Your philosophy, again, is the base of your success, but it has to come across. So again, what you're thinking may not be what other people are seeing. So check and make sure you're getting across what you think you're trying to get across. So as an example, my coaching philosophy is, I'm a believer that if you have knowledge, you pass it on to those who don't. Share and share alike, basically. We all become better if we're willing to share and open up our minds to let other people in. I also believe that playing sport as a child not only builds character and confidence, but prepares you for the lifestyle, life skills, many things we need to have as we grow. We can grow through sport. And I do a number of presentations, especially for parents, listing all the different skills that you get through sport. Teamwork, strategy, tactics, self-discipline, motivation, organisation, the communication skills, interaction with others. And a lot of the time, people would not get these skills if they weren't participating in sport. What other age, in what other industry would you actually be learning tactics and strategy and teamwork if you're not involved in sport? And a lot of the kids we're getting coming in as 5, 6, 7 years old, they apply for that first job at maybe 18 and they've already got 15 years experience. So, you're not going to get that in any other sport. And I'm a true believer of one of the real big things is that we get those life skills. A couple more examples for you here, which I've taken from other people. The last one combining the fact that he's a father and a coach. And again, he wants them to live their life and enjoy. This is from a football coach that I work with, obviously looking at that. So a couple of examples here for you to actually read through. Maybe it's helping you establish a little bit your own ideas, but it's very good to try and put this into just one paragraph and keep it succinct and simple, and keep it alive, keep reviewing it, keep, as I said before, keep learning, keep making those mistakes and growing from them and becoming a better coach. And it will maybe over time affect your philosophy. I'm not sure I believe in what I do now or what I used to do 30 odd years ago in the same way that I do now. I'm pretty sure as a young coach I maybe didn't even have a philosophy, because until you've started working you don't really understand what it's all about. So you probably have to have a couple of years experience before you even start developing a method and a system that you want to believe in and deliver. So take some time out, keep it visible. As I say, at the moment we're saying take an hour a day just to improve your own coaching skills, your knowledge, and then when we're ready to bounce back, you're in a good position to do that. So maintain these philosophies and keep them alive and keep working to them and keep them as your benchmark. Make sure you're living your coaching to the standards that you expect of yourself. In summary, very simple. You need to have a coaching philosophy. Without a philosophy, it's very difficult to have a clear pathway of teaching, and it's very difficult to have and maintain a passion for coaching. And for me, if you can't coach with a passion, I'm not really sure you should be coaching at all. Because if you can't be passionate and embrace this whole experience for the players and for yourself, for you both to grow and improve, I think you should possibly consider looking at something else. But now is the time to actually put all these things together and to come back as a better coach. We know this is unusual circumstances, but we can stay positive, we can plan, and we can review and reflect and make sure that when we're ready to come back, we are in the best position we could possibly be. Don't wait for the doors to be open, be ready. And as soon as they come, be ready there to bounce back. As always though, in the meantime, please stay well, stay safe, and look after yourself. Cheers.